Hello YouTube, this is a video where I show you how to use uh, seismic extractor to extract some data from Seismostruct files. The first thing you have to do is open Seismostruct, go to Tools, Project Settings, and then enable this option. You have to get the text output, okay? And then run your file, go to Processor, hit Run, or you use Seismobatch, doesn't matter. But you have to save the file after you enable this option, okay? Whenever you save the file, you open the program, okay? And this is a program that I developed uh, especially for Seismostruct. It reads only Seismostruct files. It doesn't work with other programs, and it might have some problems here or there. I've tested the program extensively, but there might be some errors here and there. If you get any error, you can contact me and we can fix it. But so far, everything is working fine. I'm going to right click here. I'm just going to give it the directory which contains the file needed or the files needed, and I'm going to hit enter. Now, in a few minutes, I'm going to have all the data. Now, what's the problem with the data? The data from Seismostruct is always looking like this. So this is called an out file. This is what Seismostruct extracts out of the files you have. So I'm working on nodal displacements, and I know for a fact that these nodal displacements have a maximum value. Okay, I'm going to show you now what the maximum value is. But the problem is here in this file, the problem is that each node has its own value. So if I search for nodal displacements, add output 2, which is this time, I get another set of values, and so on and so forth. So there are lots of values to look for, okay? And sometimes you cannot open this file. Sometimes you want to have more than one, sorry about this, more than one file. You want to have, for example, the output of 1, 2, 3 nodes, for example, or maybe 3 forces, it doesn't matter. This program will give you the output for multiple data. Like for example, it could give you all these. You can specify what you want. You can subtract one from another. You could multiply one with another. It all works out. So if I go to the program right now and I look for global response parameters, and I'm going to look for structural displacements. So let's say that I want all of these, okay, and my base node, which is the relative displacement, is 1. So I'm going to hit refresh, and I should get a curve. So this is the curve. What's the maximum value? Let's look for it. I want a minimum and a maximum. So this is I guess this is my maximum. I have lots of values here, so I'm just going to, because we have more than one curve, okay, but okay, so we have a maximum value of something like 13.18 and 0 at 0.084. Okay, so this is the seconds, this is the time, and this is the actual displacement. So we have 0.084, and we're talking about meters, so this is 84 millimeters. Okay, now we are going to get the output that we have here, and now we should get the same thing. Now you might tell me that these numbers are different. Wait a second, I'll explain everything right now. So here we have this file, and this is the output for the file. I'm going to open it, and as you see, it has collected all the data for the specific time steps, okay, for these these are the time steps, and these are the nodes, okay. So we have all the data until the end, and sorry about this is a bug. Anyways, so this is our data. Now you can see that we have the maximum as 85, okay, and here the program we have 42. Now you might ask, why is this double the value? Well, simply because we are telling the program to add, sorry about this, to add 1 to 1, okay, and 2 to 1, and you can obviously see that 1 and 2 almost all the nodes almost behave the same way, so it's almost 42 plus 42, which is the number that we expect, which is 1 second, which is around 85. Okay, it's actually 85.07. So this is how the program is giving us results. All right, and I can simply tell the program, instead of to, instead of adding, I could tell it to subtract. I'm going to save this file, and then I'm going to run the analysis again. I'm just going to wait for the file to end, both of these files. And remember that everything you get here is something that you can put in Microsoft Excel. I'll show you in a minute. So now I open Microsoft Excel. I'm just going to paste the data. Oh, sorry about this. I want to copy this and paste it here. Now it has automatically pasted it, but if it doesn't paste it automatically for you, you have to go to text to columns. I'm just going to show you the process. Text to columns, and notice that we have a tab here and a space. So we have it delimited. We tell it that it's a space and a tab, and then we hit next, and that's it. Okay, this is how it separates the text into columns and rows. So you have all these columns and rows. Uh, you can draw whatever you want. Like for example, I can draw. Now this is something that you cannot do in with the program itself, because whenever you want to work with a program, you have to work with one node with another, unless you want to take the data each time for each file. So I have one file here, but um, if I have that program, it shows this table ready for me without having to open each file on its own. Now, if you're working on many files, like I know people that have worked on 600 files, they don't have the luxury to open each file and work on it separately. So this tool will help you because it gives you all the data as a summary, okay, or as a shortcut. So let's take the time steps. Remember not to include the last the last couple of lines, and let's take the first one here. So sorry about that. Okay, so I'm going to select downwards, go up. Okay, so okay, and I have my graph. You could do the same thing for all of these. And that's it. So this is how you extract multiple files or data from multiple files. Now you can see that our analysis is done. I'm just going to sort the files by date, and we have new files. Okay, so we have three new files because we have three new, three out files here. So I'm going to open these up. Now we expect the data. Okay, this is expected because whenever you subtract, you don't get a relative displacement. It's very, very low. It's a very, very low amount. So let me show you what I mean here. Graph, and let's suppose that the relative displacement is 1. You can see that the values are very, very low on this graph. Sorry about that. So you can see that the lowest number, the highest number is 0.08, and the lowest number is minus 0.1, which is something that we can see from the graph over here, minus 0.1 and 0.08. Okay, so this is how we get our answer, and that's it for the program. You could do lots of things, and I'm sure you can use this program in many ways. Let me just explain to you what these things mean. So read column number. This means that you're reading um, column number X. So this is column number 2 because this is column number 1. So you have options 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Okay. And after that, you have the table name, which is the nodal displacements. You could put any table name that you want. Leave this blank, required items 2, if you don't need it. So if you only need these items, you don't need to subtract any items from one another. So you could just leave this blank like this. Okay. And as for the operation type, you could put add, subtract, multiply, and divide. I've chosen subtract. You could choose the parameter, which is the file name that it's going to show over here between parentheses. Multiplier, if you want to multiply your result. In our case, we have multiplied this number by this multiplier, so we get our result. And then we have the percentage results, which means that this is a Boolean, so it's a true or false. So if you have a percentage, if you want to get a percentage, the final answer is going to be divided by 100, and the file name will be saved with that. Now, if you put a percentage and an absolute max, that means that the file is going to have only an absolute max. So it will say absolute max, apps max, and then the number it needs. And here's the number of digits that you would get from the program when it's done. And that's it for today. Thank you for watching. But before I forget, I'll leave a link in the description if you want to purchase the program and support it so that we have better development and better versions of the program. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.